Hello, everyone. Hope you're all out there. Good morning to you. Good morning to all the amazing people in the world. As you know, we are on Amazing Things in the World Facebook page, which is sponsored by WittyFeed. And it's wonderful to have a chance for spending some time with you every Sunday morning. And I hope that you look forward to it as much as I do. So I'll wait for some of you to show up. I'm a bit early. And I'll wait for you until you guys arrive. There's one thumbs up, someone who's been up earlier than I was. And that's good news. So I want to hear something from you. We still have some time. I'm a bit early. So bring your coffee or tea and we'll start in a few minutes. But you can write something if you like, and I will see if I can have a chat with you before we officially start. Maybe you can just say hello, write your name, and so I know something about you when you're at the other side. So I know which places in the world you are. India, Raj, you're again first. Are you the same Raj that was first last time? So good to see you. Who else here wants to say hello? Melissa, hello dear. What is this about? This is about the title. Look at the title. Victoria. What kind of tea? Actually, today's tea is a mixture of cinnamon and apple, which is pretty good. USA, California, what was that? I missed that one. Who was that? David. Hello, David from Scotland. Illinois. I was in Chicago a long time ago on a conference a while back. I think it was time, I'd already graduated, but I went back for some business. Boy, sure, it was a beautiful city. A bit cold. I was able to go to one of these beautiful places where they were playing jazz. It was a kind of a downstairs thingy, like a basement looking thing. It was amazing energy there. Chicago. Scotland. Raj, yeah, okay, you're the one. Hello from Vermont. Vermont, I've heard a lot about it. Delaware, wow, these are the fantasy names that I hear in the movies and so on. From South Dakota. Oh, where's that? Oh, South Dakota. Something is missing there. There's a T missing there. Instead of T, there's an R, so South Dakota. Okay. So Alabama. I have been to Alabama. There was a conference there a long time ago about water purification stuff. Taiwan. Wow. Lovely. Lithuania. Good. Honduras. I had a friend from Honduras. She was such a lovely schoolmate. We all were in a group studying. That was a long time ago. Poland. Renata. Nice to see you. So let's see, what time is it? Is it time to start? Let's see. Oh yeah, it is time to start. Okay, so let's start. Okay, now that everybody's here, and hopefully you have your tea and coffee or whatever in your hands, let's enjoy chat. In continuation of what we discussed last time, I have a little bit more talk about it on a different angle, and then I'll be open to your questions, and then we will explore it together. So what I want to talk to you about is about how to move on. There are things that we talked about last time, how to move on after a breakup. And today I want to talk to you about, again, how to move on, but we start with questioning, why is it that we have a problem seeing what the breakup relationship, which is ended, was not a good relationship? Why is it that we have a problem seeing that? And we keep thinking that it was good and you want to get back to your partner. And why did I even break up? Everything seemed good. And we don't realize, we cannot see that it wasn't good. Why is it that after your breakup, you keep having a problem thinking that wasn't good? And you only think that it was good. So you doubt yourself. Why do you want to go back to this person? Why do you think it was good? So to understand that, we got to understand how the mind works. So what do I mean by that? Well, we are accustomed to mostly think about what we feel physically, what we see and what we feel physically. It's by default we think about these things a lot more than anything else. But what else is there? We'll talk about that. So it's all about physical presence for us, because the way we are in this life, we're more focused and aware of physical things. That's how we're conditioned to notice physical things. So therefore, we forget the fact that the way we are in this journey of life is in the shape of mind and the body. Mind and the body. This is how we're put together. There is a mind and there is a body. The both of them together complete us, makes us be who we are. But we somehow don't realize the mind part. We're always focusing on remembering things physically. What we see, what we feel physically is what we think about most of the time. So unless we understand why we're focusing on physical part, then we don't understand what is it that we are missing to realize. So let's examine that together. When you think of the ex-partner, you think and you remember all the physical part of her, not the character of her. And we're talking about, from the boy's point of view. So however your relationship is, you can reverse it. But I want to talk about one type of relationship, so it will be easier for me to continue and not lose the train of thought. So when you're thinking about your ex, you broke up, and when you think about your ex, you're mostly thinking about the physical part, and you're not thinking about the characters, the manners. You're not remembering any of that, only focusing on remembering the physical part. And we want to know why. Because by default, we're programmed, our memory, the way it works, by default, it remembers pictures, pictorial things, things that have had pictures. So that's how it is put together. So among this stuff that you remember, if you remember something pleasant about them, when you remember pictures, that's the default, then naturally you gravitate toward the good pictures, like how she looked like, how she smiled. And when you think of one good picture, these good pictures are continued to another picture, are linked to another picture. All the good pictures are linked to another. So one good picture of her brings another good picture of her. So by default, you're remembering the picture stuff, and then one picture leads to another good picture. So before you know it, you have all these wonderful pictures in your mind, and you're thinking, what was wrong with this relationship? Because all you're thinking is how her hair was, how she smiled, and the smile brings you to another good memory, and then you wonder, how she, her figure looked like, what things you guys did. All the things that you have picture with is what comes to your mind. It's like, and every one of them are linked to another good picture. It's like when you're swimming in the ocean. You're in one part of the ocean, but the molecules of the water are connected all through the ocean. So there is a path, there is a connection, there's a way for you to follow the molecules, the water, the flow, and you end up, before you know it, somewhere way out in the ocean, somewhere that you never even could see. But you have a way, there is a path, there's a connection. The waters are all connected, so you can go any direction you want to go, even if you don't want to, but there is a path. Same thing when you think of a good picture of your ex, a good memory of your ex. all these good memories are connected to another good memory. And before you know it, you're somewhere that you didn't even think you will be, because you just broke up. You're angry, you're upset, you don't like her. But because you're by default programmed to remember all the pictorial things, and one picture gravitates to another good picture, you only remember good memories, because we are programmed to think about the good stuff. So, having said that, the pleasant pictures have a priority to come up in the hierarchy of memory. And you often don't even know if there's anything wrong, and you keep wondering, why did it even break up? Well, it's like going to a movie. When you go to a movie, when you come out of the movie, you remember all the scenes. The chase, the car chase, the horses, the persons, the actors, the actresses, how they behaved, the physical parts, the sceneries, but you don't remember the words. You don't remember how it was said, maybe the general idea, but don't remember the words. Don't remember the manners. You remember the pictures. And the same thing with your breakup. You don't remember the bad manners, the bad things that were happening, the behavior, the things that were bugging you, because once again, the picture of it, because they don't have pictures. Those things don't have a pictures. Therefore, only the things that have pictures come up to the memory. Therefore, you focus on the ones with pictures, and they usually gravitate toward the pictures with pleasurable memories, pleasurable pictures, and those pleasurable pictures lead to another ones, and so on. Before you know it, you wonder, what's going on? Why am I actually not seeing that it was a good relationship and it wasn't bad? Again, because there is no picture of the bad stuff. So, if you actually be able to give a picture, give a file picture, because every time you remember someone, there's a file that comes with it. So if you remember pleasant pictures, there's a file of the emotion of the pleasant picture comes. And when the emotion, good emotions comes to you, you wonder everything was good. So if you give a picture to the manners, to the things that were not good, to the character, so every time that you think of her, you will bring two things up: the pleasant picture and also the bad picture. Then you will balance it out and clears your head that why you actually didn't enjoy that relationship. So, if you do that, and with the memory that you go to think about your previous, relationship, you have a picture of the bad stuff as well, then you have an accurate picture of the whole relationship. So you will not be overwhelmed by all these wonderful, pleasurable pictures that you remember, as the memory does. Think about the good stuff. You will also have the picture of the bad stuff, which is the manners and characters, which normally they have no pictures. But if you create a picture for them, then you will see the total thing, and then voluntarily, with a good decisive decision, you will be willing to move on, find positive people and talk with them, socialize, and find a better choice for yourself. That was a short talk for today, so you can add it to what we had last time, and then perhaps you'll have a better picture of how to move on, and why is it that you're lingering and you only think about everything was good, because, of course, you'll think of the intimacy and lovey-dovey stuff, and then you never want to gravitate toward the negative stuff. Now, let me hear from you. Today, this week is mostly about question and answer, and I want to see your questions, and perhaps we will discuss that together. Hello from Canada. My goodness, we have someone from Canada finally. We're not dead. I never hear or see anyone from Canada. I am drinking herbal tea. Okay, good. But give me your questions. Puerto Rico, lovely. I remember a Puerto Rican schoolmate in university. Boy, she was beautiful. Okay, Vermont. Hello from Morocco. Morocco, beautiful horses there. From Victoriaville, California. Philippines, Texas. Guys, give me questions. I want to see what is in your mind. Maybe we can explore something. Last time we had lots of pictures. Costa Rica, Sicily, Italy, from Brazil. Oh, Brazil, you just finished the Olympics. Hope you had a wonderful time there. My smile is contagious. Good. At least something good is contagious. From Poland, lovely to see you. How do you pronounce your name? Przemysla. Okay. Michigan. Guys, everybody is good. So should I go? Go to my day? No questions? I don't hear questions. Love the dogs. Yes, I do too. Actually, I don't know if they're bears. They're not dogs. I think they're bears. Okay. No beer. No, this is tea. Too early. It's 8:30 in the morning. What beer are you talking about? Okay. So if we don't have any pictures, then I'm going to say goodbye. I mean, no picture. If we don't have any questions, I'm going to say goodbye. Libya, that's far away. Oh, you got US. Okay. You feel sick, David? Why you feel sick? Something I said. Hello from Finland. Finland, a place I really want to see. Long time. I think when I was a child, we may have traveled to Finland or passed through. I don't know. Canada again? Selena? Ah, you ate too much, David. Don't eat too much. At least eat good stuff. All right. Okay. So, the beautiful Philippines, yes. New Jersey. Are we going to have a social talk today? Are we going to have questions today? Have I failed you guys, or have I done such a good job that you don't have any questions? Mind you, today it was only a 5-minute talk because we had already talked a long session on this last time. If you want to go back to that, and you can find it. You can also go on my YouTube channel. It's just my name, Mehran.be, and then you'll have my YouTube channel. There's over 210 or 15 videos on the subject of relationship pains and what our psyche plays in the role of our psyche into that and how we see it. We've dissected almost every scenario that is out there. And they're not short discussions about 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or 5 minutes to get subscribers. These are elaborate talks, real talks about how your psyche works and how it affects you about these sort of things. And there are also many other discussions, talks about how the psyche works, thoughts, what is thought, how is thought is born, the relationship between thought and consciousness, desire and ego and fear. We've discussed that in one of the recent seminars I did at a local university about fear, to end fear, the end of fear. And we've discussed it very interestingly. I think perhaps first time in the world that we were able to, somebody was able to put the relationship between thought, fear, and emotion, and the mind and body coordination all together, and to be able to demonstrate something that was not possible to demonstrate if we would not get help from these elements that is in the seminar. You can go to my site, www. It's right up there. I've already put it up there. mindthatseekstruth.com. mindthatseekstruth.com. You can just click on the link on top of this right here. And then you can go to my site and you will have a 10 or 12 minutes of this 1-hour seminar. That's free of charge. You can just look at it and you will pick up ideas and things. And there are also chapters that you can read from the books that I've written, see which chapters applies to you and you like it. There are ebooks and paper books. And of course, there's consultation possibilities. If you wanted to consult with me personally, you can book a time and then we will talk on Skype about your problems, which I've been doing that for past few years. And I enjoyed that immensely. I love to see you guys energetic and back on the road, and I hate to see you guys depressed and so on, and that's why the whole intention of this talks are. Now, emotion attached to memories. Yes, emotions attached to the memory, because memory is pictorial. So pretty much by default we remember pictures. If you remember in the old times, all the history and archaeology pictures and reports, you see there were writings or on the wall of the caves, but these writings were not really words, they were all pictures. Because by default, human being communicated through pictures. And that's what the brain is set up. When we remember pictorial things, things with pictures. That's why you really don't remember the words that was uttered, but you remember the meaning of it and the actual pictures. When you go to a movie, you know the general idea, but everything is pictorial. So, but what we forget is that when you bring a picture from the memory to the forefront of your memory and you focus on that, there's an emotional file, there's another file attached to that picture that comes up, which you didn't ask for it and you didn't know it's there, but it comes up. That's why when you think of a picture, when a memory comes up, which is in form of picture, you get an emotional reaction to it. And that's because there is a file, emotional file, that is attached to it, that comes with it. You cannot detach it. Every picture has an emotional file that, depending on its severity and importance, it automatically clicks onto you, and you feel that emotion with that picture. And when you feel that emotion is actuality, is reality, is that moment. You feel that emotion again. And because that emotion is happening in that very moment, then you think the actual thing that had happened and is dead is no longer in existence. It's only memory, it's only the past. But because the emotion of it feels real, because it's happening at that moment, you think the actual thing is happening at that moment. And that gets you depressed. Because you think same thing is happening over and over. It's fresh again. But not the memory is not fresh, it's all dead. The emotion that comes with that picture is created in you again, and that's fresh. And because that is happening that moment, you think the actual thing is happening that moment. That's why it's important to recognize that the memories that you're getting is all dead. It's non-existent, can't do anything to you. And the emotion of it is what really is kind of causing it to seem like as if it's happening. You from Poland. I'm not from Poland. If I was in Poland, I would be too busy looking at the beautiful sceneries I've heard that is very beautiful. Hello from Scottsdale, Arizona. Scottsdale, hello there. You're thinking about solo words that they mean? Yeah, when you think of a memory, you really have a priority for anything that has pictures. And naturally you gravitate toward the pictures that are representing pleasurable things. When you think of these pleasurable things, each one leads to another pleasurable things. Like if you think about your ex-girlfriend, let's say, and you think about her smile, well, that leads to another good memory, and so on and so forth. And before you know it, you think there was nothing wrong with the relationship. So you got to give a picture to the actual feelings of the relationship, to the things that were happening that were not pleasant, so they will have a chance to present themselves when you think of that relationship, and then you will have a perfect picture of the whole thing, and you wouldn't wonder why you broke up. You would know exactly why. Mustafa, nice to see you too. I think of the bad stuff to let go. Yeah, you got to find out why is it that you think of the bad stuff. Sometimes you think about the bad stuff in your memory because you want to fix them. One of the reasons that you constantly go back into your memory after a relationship, because there are things that you wish you had handled it better. Like if you really didn't say much, you wanted to say, a whole thing and say just, tell him or her, come on, mind your business or none of your business, something, but you didn't. Or you kind of didn't think that you were gracious enough or you were flexible enough, and you wonder what would it be if you. So you go into your memory and you try to remember things and then fix them. You know how you go into memory and you talk things with yourself, and it's as if you're discussing the same thing, you're responding, by delay you're responding to the situation now that is nowhere near. My ex had GPS on me. I just remember the cause and insecurity she had. She had mental pictures of abuse from previous past. Yeah, so maybe in the next time, if you have a partner that you will find about each other's shortcomings or challenges, then you will address that together, and you will help each other to bring about that psychological security that each person is looking for, especially in a relationship. Maybe next week or a week after, we'll talk about how to be a man. Most people don't understand there's a difference between being a male and being a man. Being a male is by the anatomy. That's easy. Anybody can be a male. A donkey can be a male. But being a man has a lot to do with manners, morals, characters, what you provide, what you stand for, how you protect what you're supposed to be protecting, and how flexible you are, how compassionate you are, how kind you are, how understanding you are. These are characters that makes a man, but the anatomy makes a male. So there's a big difference. So perhaps if we talk about these sort of things, many who have a wrong idea of what a good man, a good partner for a woman is, would have a little bit better idea. What is it that makes us a man, and what is the difference between being a man and being a male? But if I doing one but I mean another, but if I doing one but I mean another, is that a puzzle for me, or is it a question? If it's a question, let me understand first. It's true, I'm from Florida. Is it true I'm from Florida? Okay, I don't know, is it true? Are you from Florida? Okay, good advice. Positive photos, right. It's true that I ever thinking, because I'm thinking on different how it can be. Yeah, you're thinking about how would it have been if I had done this thing differently. But remember, everything that you're thinking about is really non-existence. So it really doesn't serve you well to keep thinking about what doesn't exist and you try to fix it. When it's already dead, it's already gone. No need fixing. So, it only needs fixing if it still exists, and the relationship that is broken up, it doesn't exist anymore. So you need not fix anything. Don't need to go to your memory. Hang on to it. You go into your memory because you want to create that order that you had when you guys were together. You know, remember we talked about it, that when you're single, you have a certain order, certain way of doing things in life, how your life is, the things you're accustomed to, your order, your norm. And when you guys get together as a couple, then you have disturbed the girlfriend's order as she had it before you guys became a couple, and she is disturbing your order as it was before you guys became a couple. And then it takes a while until you guys start making a new order, which becomes your mutual order. And then when you break up, again, this mutual order that was now your order that you're used to it breaks up and is disturbed. And now you find yourself as it was when you were single, which that now needs and takes time for you to get used to the old order, which you were fine with it. So you really haven't lost much. You just became as free as you were before your relationship. And so that is really what you are trying to create again, and you're worried about. That's why you keep going into your memory and trying to remember how it was, so you can create that order that was giving you psychological security back. And that is why after a relationship breakup, you keep going into your memory, you keep thinking about it, and you think that's where you feel cozy and warm and secure, and that's why you stay there. But if you really give pictures, to the things that were not right in the relationship, and don't allow only the picture of the good stuff come to the forefront of your memory, then you will realize that you really don't need to go back in there, because there is no psychological security in there. Because if there was any psychological security in the relationship, you guys wouldn't have broken up. The fact that you have broken up, it means it wasn't good. I don't care what you think. If it was good, it would stick. It would stay. Because staying together is a mutual thing. It cannot be done by force or manipulating each other or dominating each other. So once you realize that you don't need to go back in the memory, because going back to the memory is for you to cause a psychological security for yourself by remembering how good it was. But the fact that it's broken up, that means it wasn't good. And when you give pictures to the things that were not right in the relationship, you will then have a complete memory of it, not just the picture of the good stuff. You will have a picture of the whole thing, and you will see that I don't want to go in there, because if it was good, I wouldn't get out of it, or it wouldn't break up. Whether I broke it up or she broke it up, it wouldn't be broken up. And the fact that it has, that means there's no need for me to go back in there. There's nothing in there. It may sound or seem like there is, but no. Just go and find new people, attend to your duties and responsibilities, attend to whatever projects that you have. Life goes on, and create that good feeling and confidence. Keep yourself in shape, exercise to your limits and to your levels, and eat good and drink good water, and have a good mood, and accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. It will give you a good confidence, a good mood, and people are attracted to people who are in good mood, of good mentality and good place that they've created for themselves. Hi from Delaware. Hello from Romania. Nadia Comaneci is still number one. Do you hold any degree? In my hand, when it's like this is 90 degree. What degree? Yes. Yeah, but who cares what kind of a university degree one has? It's about if what you say makes sense, and what you say is about the psyche is true. Yes, I went to university in Portland, Oregon, Lewis and Clark, and it was a lovely private university, and I loved it. My father sent me to get my education there, long time ago. However, my education and research in what I'm talking to you about, it's been on my own, not through the university. I studied in different field in university, but I always enjoyed understanding the relationship between mind and the body. So I trained the understanding of mind and body relationship in university, a course that was called a Japanese martial art, Aikido. Shinshin Toitsu Aikido, it was talking about the relationship of the energy of the universe and us, and focusing on understanding that energy, becoming one with that energy, and becoming one and understand the relationship between mind and body, and relationship between our energy and universal energy, and developing on that. Of course, we were using that energy for the self-defense techniques, but it was heavily focused on understanding about this energy, which was the life, energy of life. And of course, later on, I was very, very much interested and felt the void to understand more about the relationship between the material process of the mind, how the mind works, how the brain works, and the thoughts and consciousness and ego and desire and fears, and the relationship with them and our life, and the role of our psyche in general in everything that we do in life, and the fact that we are each piece of the puzzle of life, and we're each connected, and every one of us is very important in this life, and we need to know how this machine works in order to be able to contribute as much as we can to this short journey of life. And that is basically in a nutshell. When you love so deeply, it's hard to let go. We have been broken for 5 months. Yes, of course. You just got to realize that life is not summed up in one relationship. One woman, or one man, or one relationship. There's a lot more to life than you can see, and just because you cannot see doesn't mean it doesn't exist. If you stand in front of the ocean and you can see as far as it goes, and you can't see any further, does that mean the ocean is ended? No, you just can't see it. But the ocean didn't end. The same thing. You think the relationship that you had, the love that you had, is the only thing that really counts. There is no other love. And the whole life is summed up into that. But that's what you can see and what you can feel, and it's pleasurable to you. And that's what your desire comes to the picture, and you want it to be that way because you really don't have that much of understanding of your desire, and you think your desire should be leading your way. And therefore you think that's all there is to it, and you should constantly wish for it, and you can't see that there is a lot more out there. And because you can't see, it hasn't been lining up in front of you, show what other opportunities available. You can't see it, you don't know it, so you think it doesn't exist. So you think that was the only thing that existed, and then you miss it so big time. But if you really realize that life is far bigger than that, do what you got to do to keep your relationship together. Why not? Wonderful, of course. But when you have done your best and it doesn't work, then understand that, hey, move on. There's a lot more in this life than that thing, because that thing is part of life. It's not the whole of life that you want to stick to it. Think, oh, I found life in this person. Well, if it was, great, but it's not. So move on and find other wonderful things that life has to offer. Everything that you see in this life is not just one. You know, you see that bird, there's millions of it. That tree, same kind of tree, there are millions of it. The crops, so much of it. The wheat, this and that. So the same thing. Your love, also there's abundance. There are other love. Go find them. Just do your things. You'll attract the right resonance of life and frequency, and you will find each other. When you love so deeply, okay, we did that. Hello from Gary, Indiana, I guess. Hello there. Are flashbacks from time to time normal, even if you feel cured? What do you mean cured? It's not a disease when you break up or when you're in love. You don't have to be cured. It's part of life. It's like you were here in this restaurant, you're not here anymore. You were passing through by bus and you saw many things. Well, you remember. It doesn't mean that you have to be cured not to remember. We record everything. 24 hours a day. We record everything. And that's how it's set up. You don't have to forget things. You just have to understand it. Okay, it wasn't good. I put it in filing cabinet. The hell with it. It doesn't matter if you remember it or not. You got to understand that just because you remember something, there's no effect on you. It's a picture. Like you look at a movie. If you look at a movie, that doesn't mean it's real. It was real at one time, but right now you're just seeing it, so it can't have the same effect as long as you remind yourself that's a movie. It's a movie, it's not reality. So if you have a flashback, just remind yourself, I'm here, I'm in this moment. That is dead, that doesn't exist. It's just a movie I'm looking, it has no effect on me. Because remember, everything that you remember is dead, is in the past. It doesn't exist. You're just looking at it and you get a certain emotion, and the emotion is that happening in that moment. That emotion is real from that memory. Then you think the memory is real. You think that's happening now, but it's not. So rest assured, no need to be cured. You're fine. There's nothing wrong with you. Memory is normal. Why are men wanting to remain friends with their exes? It's not a general question. Not every man wants to be a friend with the exes. Some men with some exes, maybe they still have a feeling for her. I mean, but there is no such rule that says all men want to be. In fact, most men don't want to have anything to do with their exes, and most women don't want to have anything to do with their exes. So that's pretty much what I have to say. I was with a girl, I have no idea why she stopped talking. Maybe she was having food in her mouth. She couldn't talk. She wouldn't tell me clearly and always run from the situation. This is killing me now. Well, no. It shouldn't be killing you. You're not responsible if she wasn't able to express herself. Maybe, obviously, I take it that you guys are not together anymore. maybe somehow, I don't know what the culture, what the traditions are in that country where you are, but maybe she was not pleased with the whole thing. Maybe she had different ideas. And whether she was pleased or not pleased, if she was not pleased, that doesn't have any bearing on you. It's not a reflection on you unless you were an asshole. And if you're not, which I'm sure you were not, therefore, if she wasn't satisfied, that's not a bearing on you. It's not a reflection on you. It's a reflection on her. Every person in this life is different. Just because she doesn't like you doesn't mean you're bad. Imagine spaghetti. Spaghetti is one of the most favorable food around the world. Now, if somebody goes in a restaurant, orders spaghetti, and for the first time and doesn't like spaghetti, does that make the spaghetti bad? Spaghetti is still spaghetti. Millions of people around the world still love it. Just because that person didn't like the spaghetti doesn't make the spaghetti bad. So if she didn't like you or wasn't happy with you, doesn't make you bad. Just makes it not a compatible situation. Like we talked last time, if you have a nut and a bolt, and if it doesn't fit, doesn't make the nut bad or doesn't make the bolt bad. It's just don't fit. They got to go and find another bolt and then it will fit. Or find another nut for this bolt and they will fit. It just doesn't fit. It's not a bad bolt or a bad nut. It's not that you're bad or anything wrong with you. She had different way of seeing things. It's like people like different colors, different taste, different design of clothing. Don't take it personal. What people don't like, what people need and behave, what people need and how they behave is not a reflection on you necessarily. It doesn't represent a shortcomings in you. So if they don't like it, well, they don't like it. Many people don't like me, or I don't like many people. What does that mean? Doesn't make them all bad. Mind you, they could be. Or doesn't make me bad. Why I can't let go a guy that he is so bad with me. But when he is nice, he's lovely. I can't let him go because I'm so neat. Well, look, if you have a guy or if you have a girl who's oscillating like this up and down, that's not normal. That is not what you're in a relationship for. Everybody is in a relationship for many reasons. And one common reason for all of them is to have and create a safe environment and psychological security. By someone being up and down, that means either that person is not balanced or doesn't know what he wants or is incapable of giving love and compassion and abilities to be good with someone, but he's mostly thinking about his own comfort and selfishness. I don't think that would be a place that you would be quiet. You just have to discuss it and say, listen, you're sometimes nice, sometimes not nice. What is it? You want to manipulate me? You want to dominate me? You want to make me feel like I should crave for your kindness? It's kind of a little bit psychopathic. So watch out for that. I never had any physical thing with my ex, but things ended suddenly the way it started. A year. What happened? I lost this. Where did it go? Okay, I can't see it. Hi from Houston, Texas. My question is this: my ex still has me on the house note. I have not lived in the home for almost 4 years and been divorced for 3.5 years. It was a very, very bad abusive marriage. See more. Okay. It was very bad abusive marriage for 19.5 years, and I'm so glad I got out of it. I am so much happier. My question is, how can I stop stressing over the house note? I know he's paying on it every month because he does not want to ruin his credit. Aha. Well, obviously you guys haven't divorced yet. I mean, were you guys married? You said, I think you said you were married. If you were married and you're divorced, then obviously the assets have been taken care of by your lawyers or by the law of wherever you are. But if you haven't, well, that's not good. I think it's best that if you guys don't plan on being back together, which obviously not, then you should take care of that asset and make it all legal, that he would take care of it, unless he wasn't qualified at the beginning. But I think now you can check it with your lawyer. I'm not a lawyer, so, and especially I'm not, don't know the law in that neck of the woods. But you obviously should go to your lawyer and remove your name from the house, because whatever happens, that's your credit as well. I think something you guys can talk it over. It's all, you know, money and asset, but just go take it over and free your mind from it. Why I can't let go someone that he is always bad? Well, let's say, same as saying why the jailed prisoner ends up liking the jailer. Because the jailer is in power of many things, the food, water, comfort, and is on the upper hand. And then the prisoner feels the need to accommodate, and it's dependent on it. And eventually, with a little bit of a kindness from the jailer, the prisoner thinks he's being favored and sees that jailer as a very kind person, because the whole environment, the whole history of it was not good and pleasant and kind. But now he's added character for him to be kind. So suddenly you think the jailer is a real good human being. Not necessarily. Like the hostage ends up kind of liking the hostage holder, you know, the feelings that is created. So that's why you don't want to let him go. But really, if the guy is bad, then he's bad. You got to move on. That's which we can name linguistic programming. Okay, I don't get that. I have missed it. Please let me know why. Why what? I lost you. How do you tell someone you don't love them anymore without hurting them? How can you not hurt someone when you tell them, I don't love you anymore? But do you really have to tell them, I don't love you anymore? You can also say, I think we've grown apart, and the directions that we have grown is not the same as it was. And, you know, you can be gentle on that, but you don't go and say, you know, what the tea you drinking? Oh, good thing that you reminded me. My mouth is dry. Apple cinnamon. Men who are emotionally unavailable are attracted to me. I am learning to recognize them and turn them away. Could you do a session on this subject? Sherry, men who are not emotionally available are attracted to you. What does that mean? You are the one who is in control. As soon as you know them, you should know if they're emotionally available or not. It's not a question, it's by how they behave, how they look at you, how they attend to you, how they behave, how they are available. And if that's not them, then you're the boss. You make the decision about you. Mind@seekstruth.com. Raj, thank you for writing that down. Is it possible to be in love with two people at the same time? Oh, good question. Well, do you think it's love or is it lust? First of all, let me see, are you a man or a woman? I think you have a picture of a woman. It's very small. Shikita. Okay. I think it's a woman. Well, whether it's a man or a woman, you can be in love with two people, but is that really love? Because love is not about sight. You can see someone and you feel, oh, I'm in love with her, or you're in love with him. But that's not really love. That's an invitation to love, to get to know the person. Invitation to be interested. A interest generator is that first sight. And then through getting to know each other, knowing about each other's consciousness, level of understanding, the compatibility, and to see each other's behavior, how you behave in the daily life, and how you handle things, how you negotiate life, how you maneuver in life, what is your policy of acting and reacting and feeling, and then you will gain love, or you will generate love between the two. Otherwise, so for that, you got to have the same amount of time spent with each of these persons. Where do you find that time? You won't. Therefore, there will be only one of them that you really love. The others, the other two, maybe you're comparing to, this one can give me security of financial security or some goodies and stuff and takes me here and there, and that one does these sort of things for me. That's not how you figure out if you love someone, or if that's the case. I'm not saying it is, but I don't know what circumstance you're talking about. So love is not created by the first sight. That's either interest or lust. And love is really far elaborate and deeper than that, which comes through time and understanding each other and interacting with each other. What about taste memories? I don't understand that. I need more elaboration on that. Yes, two people I have been, the two people, you've been there, okay. What's your basic profession? Basic profession. Well, my profession that I love and care about is this. I love to help people. I love to create an environment where they can understand themselves, become their own guru, they can, lead their own life and understand the role of their psyche and consciousness, thoughts and desire and ego and fears, and how they can negotiate all this in reaction to life. But generally, we all make our money through different history. Mostly, I've been into real estate and so on and so forth. But that is just money. It doesn't have the compassion that I need in life to feel balanced. It is easier to remember the bad characteristics if it's more traumatic. Yes, but you got to focus on the fact that when it's no longer there, it's dead. And when it's dead, well, let it go. Like, what happens when a loved one of ours passes on, passes away, dies? We accept that. Eventually, how hard it may be, we tend to accept it, and we go on, because we have realized that it doesn't exist. And the fact that you accept and recognize and understand that it doesn't exist, you're sure of it, helps you to move on and not to, dwell on it or, think about it too much, but just think about how wonderful it was whenever you think of your loved one. But when it comes to these sort of things, you constantly linger on that event, even though you know that the event was in the past, and this is not the past is gone, the past is dead, but you keep, and that event is dead, doesn't exist anymore, but you keep thinking the memory of it. But why? Because you are alive and you think the event is alive. The event is dead. You're the only one alive, just like the one who passed and is no longer in this world. That's dead, and the event is also gone. So stop doing, just do the same thing you do with the ones who have passed and no longer on this earth. Just move on, live your life, create new circumstances, positive circumstances for yourself. You can choose what to remember, Jason. Okay, we don't know. Okay, thank you for your insight. Okay, Amanda. So let's see what time we have. I may have gone over time. I don't want to keep you guys too long here. Okay. All right. I think it's been almost an hour, maybe another few minutes, and then we'll all go about our day on Sunday. I don't know where you guys from all over the world, and I'm sure that for some of you it's about 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and some of you are probably 3 hours ahead if you're in the East Coast. So why are all my relations bad? Well, Mandy, you choose them according to your old standards. Change your standards. It's like saying why every watermelon that I buy is not sweet and is not ripe, because you don't know exactly how to pick a watermelon. You know, when you see a spot on the watermelon that is kind of yellowish, that means it had enough time to sit on the ground. That means it's been ripened before it was cut out. So that means update your knowing about how to pick a watermelon. So change your standards, and when you want to pick up friends, find out your standards must become higher, more difficult, more challenging. So you got to look closer. If they fit that standards, then you will pick new friends with different standards, fitting you differently according to your new expectations, and then they would be possibly better. I like the quote, don't believe everything that is in your head. That's right. Don't believe your mind. Also, you guys can go on my site, www.mindthatseekstruth.com, and there are chapters of my book for your viewing. You can read the chapters, and also if you go on Amazon, you can read some of the chapters there. But my own site also gives you an opportunity to read 1 or 2 chapters of each book. It's just you can flip it over, and then also listen to some of the parts of the seminars that I've done and see what's out there. Eat, be good, die, and it's good and the end. Justina, you're making it so untasty, this experience of life. No. I want never again have a relationship. Solo forever. Yeah, Johnny, you think so? We all thought of that maybe for a few days, but then after divorce, get cheater, ex-wife, thrown me out of the house. Yeah, it's okay. Learn from it. Choose better one next time. Don't worry. Don't give up. You still have a long way to go and experience life. She destroyed me. She didn't destroy you. Nobody can destroy you. Johnny, nobody can destroy you. As a man, I'm gonna die solo. I have kindness. No. Stop this bullshit. There's so much things out there, so many wonderful, beautiful things out there. Just because you walk in the street and you see a bunch of garbage and shit, that doesn't mean every street has that. It's the street that you're the path you're on. Move on from that street, finish the path, go on a different path. You'll find flowers and wonderful things and so on. And at least there will be once in a while some garbage around, not all the time. So don't think that this whole life is represented by your experiences. Life has got a lot more things to it than you think. And your experiences have been just a fragment of this life and not the whole of life. Don't judge the whole of life, but certain experiences that you've had so far. Change yourself, change your thoughts, change your expectation and standards. You will have different people. Why I can't let go of someone? Because you think that that someone and thinking about that person brings psychological security for yourself. Go build yourself, build something out of yourself, accomplish your tasks, and make your goals come true. You will see that you don't need them to give you value because you already got your value from something else, and you'll be more confident, and you won't need them to make you feel good about yourself. Okay, everyone, I love you all. Thank you very much for being here. Next week we'll have a different topic to talk about. Maybe we'll talk about how to be a man or other topics. I will think about it. I don't know, but I'm grateful that you're here. I appreciate you being here, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to share these things with you. And I hope you will have a wonderful week, and I look forward to see you again next week. Love you all. Take care. Be good to yourself and to the others. Bye for now.